Hi, I'm Michael Woods, the Chief Scientist at the Asian Turfgrass Center, and I'm going to introduce another one of my blog posts here. This is one of the recent ones about organic matter in the soil, which is always a popular topic. And this one was kind of in response to something that I showed in another video, which is what happens when you play golf on greens that were top dressed only once in a year. That was another blog post and another video that I've done, and it was in reference to Kea Golf Club and the KBC Augusta tournament this past year in the last week of August. And it turned out that those greens had only been top dressed with sand one time this year. And as you'll see in that video, the playing performance on the greens was great. The ball rolled very well. And the ball, what was really impressive with only one sand top dressing is how the ball bounces when it hits the green, because it rained a tremendous amount in the weeks leading up to the tournament. Even the first round of the tournament was delayed because of heavy rain and thunderstorm. So the greens on the course were saturated. They were at field capacity at the start of the week, and they'd only been top dressed once all year. And the playing conditions were fine. So I did that post and I shared that, and there were some comments from Steve Ocula, a superintendent. I know he was on TurfNet and worked in France for quite a long time. I think he may still be working in Europe. He was asking some questions about, are you sharing this information out of context? You know, what is there more to it than this? What was the maintenance leading up to that? You know, like just saying it's quite abnormal to get great playing conditions and only top dress one time in a year, right? Everybody knows that. And I can understand that he might be surprised by that. So I did this post kind of as an explainer, sand top dressing and surface layer organic matter. And this post, it looks at Kea Golf Club, where this tournament was held, over the past 5 years. So this is looking at not just at the surface, but the entire, not just the 0 to 2 centimeter depth organic matter, but it's looking at the organic matter from 0 down to 6 centimeters. So in inches, that would be from 0 down to 2.4 inches below the surface. And when this was done in the spring of 2017, the organic matter was 5.3% on those greens, and then it was 5.5 the next year, 5.6. So it's going up a little bit, but that's a tiny amount. Up to 6.3%, still a small increase in the spring of 2020. And last year, there was coring and top dressing done. It went back down to 5.7. So over this 5-year period, four growing seasons, right? 2017, 18, 19, 20. So 4 growing seasons, 5 sampling events over 5 years. The organic matter went up a little bit from 5.3% at the start to 5.7% at the end. But what's really interesting, and I share that in the post, is basically we would say that's pretty flat. Okay, it's going up a little bit, but it's not changing a tremendous amount. But why I can speak with confidence that one top dressing event this year produced good surfaces, excellent surfaces, and not be afraid that I'm providing misinformation, providing information that people might take out of context, is because we have that data of how the organic matter has changed over time. And we also have the information of what the course superintendent, Andrew McDaniel, has done to those greens with his excellent team at Kea Golf Club. That's in Fukuoka, Japan, for anybody who is unfamiliar with that golf course. And in 2017, there were 2 verticuts and top dressing, no coring or solid tine. 2018, also no holes punched, 2 verticuts and top dress. And 2019 was the same. 2020, there was the single 10 millimeter or 3/8 of an inch coring, verticutting, and top dressing. So that's what's happened. And the organic matter has stayed approximately the same over that 5-year period of sampling. So it's interesting that the total amount of top dressing sand applied is less than I used to recommend be applied in 1 year. I used to recommend in 1 year that people would apply 40 to 50 cubic feet of sand per 1,000 square feet. That's the amount from the famous USGA green section record article from 2002, I believe, about what was it called? Aeration and top dressing for the 21st century. And that was based on what worked great in the American Southeast with the way that greens were being managed 20 years ago. But over time, I've kind of modified that recommendation. So where I used to recommend that amount, it turns out that 40 to 50 cubic feet per 1,000 square feet works out to be 12 to 15 millimeters of sand in depth. So I used to be recommending that amount per year in every year. And I would tell people if they were not doing that, because everybody would tell me that's too much. I can't possibly disrupt my greens that much. I can't possibly put out that much sand. I can't punch so many holes. The members would kill me. And some people are able to do that, others aren't. But those that are not able to do it, and everybody that was objecting to my recommendation, I used to tell them, okay, fine, I understand it's difficult to do all of this work, but if you start having problems a few years down the road, just remember that you haven't done this amount of organic matter management. You haven't applied this much sand and done this much coring like you really need to. So just don't be surprised if you see problems. Well, it turned out that people were not seeing those problems. So they were not following that recommendation. They were also not seeing problems. And I realized that I needed to change my recommendation. So that's what I've done. And now I like to base the recommendation based on how the organic matter is actually changing in the soil over time, calculating site-specific organic matter accumulation rates, which is something that I also have a blog post about. So you can find that on my website at asianturfgrass.com, along with all kinds of information about this topic of top dressing and organic matter management, and the OM246 test, where the OM246 hashtag is a place where you can find a lot more information about this, about measuring the organic matter at the 2 and 4 and 6 centimeter depths. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you'll check out this blog post, which there'll be a link to it in the description. And thank you for watching.